Priyanka.
Hi, I'm Payal.
And we are the High Heel Confidential Girls.
And welcome to our first ever weekly roundup.
And you might wonder what a weekly roundup is.
So our weekly roundup is going to be a recap of all the events of the last week, where we mention some of our favorites, some not so quiet, and some special mention.
And this week we're going to start off by recapping Femina Beauty Awards, which happened last week, and just do a roundup of who walked the red carpet. So
Let's get started.
So let's start off with Kanishta, who picked an Anita Dongre dress.
And if the dress looked familiar to you, it's probably because we saw Mira a couple of weeks ago wear the same one with Sergio Rossi heels.
And I thought they both wore it pretty damn well.
I really like the Sabyasachi bag on Kanishta though, which I really want.
Agreed. Next up was Swara in her Manish Malhotra. I thought that was a bit of a lost opportunity for her.
I agree.
The volume really overtook and the fit of the bodice didn't quite help either.
I also thought like there was such a disconnect going on between her hair and the gown itself, the tight curls. If only she had picked like a retro way with a dark lip, that would have helped pop the orange gown a lot more.
Yeah, I think she wanted to pare down the volume and so kind of pared down the makeup. She should have just embraced the whole thing and gone the whole 10 yards, 9 yards, but who's counting? Then there were Sana in Amit GT and Ellie in Archana Kochar. They both wore their respective looks well, but you had a bit of a note for Ellie, didn't you?
Yeah, I love Sana. She looked really glamorous. Ellie, I thought needed a lot of more color on her, like some kind of like a lip color or like a jeweled bag. With the whole pale pink gown on her, washed her out completely.
What didn't wash her out was an Anavala sari that Ashwini picked. She looked pretty nice, very earthy, comfortable in her own skin, and we love a sari sighting.
Always. And speaking of Ashwini, I hope you've read her blog on the site. We'll post a link right below.
Perfect. And then while we were on saris, our second sighting of the night came via Roshni Chopra, who picked a gorgeous pink Banarsi sari, which I understand is an heirloom piece.
Yep, and she, if you didn't know, her necklace also is like multiple jewelry pieces that she had, and she got them custom made into like a necklace.
That's nice.
And paired it with the Payal Khandwala crop top.
What a great way to put together a look. I'm always a sucker for the pink and indigo combination. But speaking of things that were put together well, what did you think of Shreya in her Payal single separates?
I'm probably the only person in the world, but I thought she looked nice just because we always see her in so much gowns and all the 10 years that I found that refreshing. Yes, a lot of people thought it was like bedtime where she was headed to bed and ended up in the wrong place.
She made me long for like a mimosa or something. It was very brunch, it was very beachy. The only difference was that it was not steamy, but that's about it.
So my question to you is, do you think she was underdressed or was other people overdressed?
I'm beginning to think she was underdressed.
Okay, fine. You take that round.
So, and then we had Jacqueline, who had a bit of a mesh trouble. Well, not trouble as much as we didn't like the mesh detail.
Yeah, I think the gown would have been so much better if there was no mesh on it. It was just like didn't photograph very well, and that happens a lot of times. Something looks great in person but doesn't look good in pictures.
That's right. Like Surveen, who gave us our second ditto of the night, might have looked really great on the red carpet, but her look desperately needed a pop of lip color. The same dress when Kriti wore worked so much
better on her. Agreed. So next up is Sophie in her BCBG look, and wow, what a great way to elevate a very simple gown just with jewelry and color and just minimal, like keep the hair low key.
Yeah, the hair and makeup like really worked in her favor to kind of make a very basic look not so basic. Diana Penty, who also tried to go the makeup route to elevate otherwise we've seen before gown, worked, but it didn't photograph very well, so it's really hard to say if we definitively liked it.
Yeah, but I think the gray and pink, I'm sure it looked great in person, probably popped, and it's a classic combo.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. But Pooja could have used a bit of lip color for sure, because the dress, while it worked really well on her, really left me wanting some kind of a winged eyeliner, a bit of a glossy lip, just something to pull it all together.
So for me, when I posted it, I actually kind of liked it. But now that you mentioned that and I see the pictures again, I kind of think, yeah, maybe like the eyes could have been a little bit more enhanced.
Yeah. Shilpa.
I liked her. She looked it was a very youthful look because of the gown itself had like that tucked in effect, so it didn't feel like very traditional. She wore it well. The white Louboutins looked amazing. Was obviously wanted a little bit of color, like that hint of bold pink lip or somewhere. So almost, I'd like to call her an almost.
Yeah, I mean, she made all that print work, which is props to her.
But what doesn't Shilpa make work for herself?
That's true. And while we're on bodies, can we talk about Vani for a second?
Wow, Vani looked amazing in that Alexis Mabille gown. I think the only problem was the hair and makeup didn't quite do justice to the gown itself, which was very sexy. I loved like the subtle cutout on the bust.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, great gown, but meh overall, because it just was very underwhelming, and like you mentioned it probably had a lot to do with her makeup.
And they did a lot more jewelry as well.
And were those the ladies on the red carpet? Are we missing anybody?
We'll find out, because hopefully our commenters will tell us.
So that's the roundup, and just to finish up, I think my favorite of the night was Roshni. I loved the combination, the sari. I thought it worked really well.
I have to agree, she was my favorite.
And special mention to Sophie. She really made a very basic dress work on the red carpet, which is no mean feat.
And for me, it was Shilpa. I thought she had a very good combo going on, and if you had just added a little color on the lips, would have been a complete 10.
Yeah, and I think we'd have to give the lost opportunity hat to Vani, because she had everything going for her, but the makeup kind of let her down.
Agreed.
So tell us, what do you think? If you agree, disagree, write in the comments below, and we will see you again next week with another weekly roundup.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.